Hi everyone, my name is Dan, and this very important training video is brought to you by Pennington Financial LLC. What you'll learn in today's video is how to pass the 7 Medicaid tests, so let's get started. Test 1, Sickness. A doctor has to certify you really are sick enough to need nursing home care. Now this is kind of funny. Can you imagine anyone going to a nursing home for a vacation? Test 2 is Age. You do have to be 65 years old or older, or legally blind or disabled according to the Social Security standards. Test 3 is Citizenship. You must be a citizen of the United States, or in some cases, a holder of a green card would qualify you as well. Test 4, Residence. This test illustrates why so many people have trouble understanding Medicaid law. To be eligible for Medicaid, you have to be a resident of the state in which you apply. But if you're in a nursing home in one state, you are automatically a resident of that state even if you live elsewhere or vote elsewhere. Test 5, Income. The income test is a little tricky because each state has its own rules. But don't worry, there is a special income trust that can be used to qualify if your income is above the federal limit, which is currently around $2,000 per month. With this type of arrangement, you simply would deposit your income into the trust, and that way the income isn't really yours anymore because it belongs to the trust. And because you now have very low income that fits below the maximum allowable limit, you are eligible for Medicaid. Test 6, Assets. There are several hundred possible combinations of the asset rules, but again, don't worry. I'll mention just a few of the most important ones. Most people think you have to be broke before you can get Medicaid, that you can't even keep your house. Isn't that what you may have thought before watching this video? Well, this is what the Louisiana rules actually say. You can't get Medicaid if your countable assets are more than $2,000. I repeat, you can't get Medicaid if your countable assets are more than $2,000. Now that pretty much sounds like you have to be pretty darn close to being broke, doesn't it? But you don't have to go broke, and it's all because of one little word. Did you catch it? The word is countable, and it simply means that when Medicaid is counting up your assets to see whether you have more than $2,000, some assets count and some assets don't count. So right now you're probably thinking you understand why everybody says Medicaid is so complicated and it's hard to deal with. Well, not so fast, because the crazy madness has just begun. To begin with, some assets never ever count, and let's take a look at those right now. Clothing, furniture, and jewelry never count. Your house and one car while you're alive never account. However, upon the passing in a marital case of husband and wife, the house and the car is fully available for Medicaid recovery, meaning the total amount of equity in the house and the value of the car can be seized at the passing of both husband and wife. Test 7, Compliance. In effect, you can go from having lots of countable assets to having less than $2,000 worth of countable assets and therefore qualify for Medicaid, but only if Medicaid approves of the way you went about it. The biggest no-no is giving away what you currently have so you now satisfy the other 6 tests. Just imagine, you're sick and you're old and you're tired, you're a citizen of Louisiana, and you're in a nursing home. Your income is, let's say, $1,000 from Social Security, and let's say you also have an IRA worth $100,000 and a measly $2,000 in your savings account. Now the IRA is a countable asset, so you can't get Medicaid, but you figure if you don't have the IRA, your assets will be low enough to qualify you for benefits, so you give it away, leaving you with just the $2,000 in your savings account. Now you pass all 6 tests and you become eligible for Medicaid, right? Well, hold on. You pass all 6 tests, that's for sure, but you still don't get Medicaid because they don't approve of the way you got yourself broke. Now, there are ways to shelter your assets and still get Medicaid, even do some gifting if it's done right, and let's take a look at that right now. First, you could make a gift, wait 60 months, and then apply for Medicaid. That 60 months is what is called the look-back period, which is the time period during which Medicaid is allowed to examine your gifts. And that's all there is to it. Then, After Medicaid determines that a gift was made during the look-back period, and only then, Medicaid is allowed to look at the gift to decide if there ought to be a penalty for making that gift. The amount of the penalty for gifts that are penalized, meaning the number of months Medicaid won't pay, is computed by a very complicated formula. So what are the results? The rule says that you start serving your time like in the penalty box at an ice hockey game, when you are otherwise eligible for Medicaid benefits but for the gifting penalty. So what's this mean? Well, this is probably the most confusing part of all the Medicaid rules, so let's just keep it simple for now and remember this. If you gift, you will most likely cause a penalty period, but the penalty period begins once you file an application for Medicaid benefits and not at the time that you made the gift. So would you like to learn how to qualify for Louisiana Medicaid? Then send for our free report called Medicaid Secrets Revealed. This 22-page report exposes the truth about how to qualify for nursing home benefits without spending down your life savings or subjecting your home to Louisiana Medicaid recovery. Get your report now by going to MedicaidLongTermCare.com or give us a call at 866-323-4125. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.